Well, it's been a while, but time for a new video. So, I've had a bit of an interesting time with work, and it's only moving forward. But because of all that, I've been able to pick up this. And unfortunately, if you're looking at the lighting, it is bad outside at the moment. It's all cloudy. So I'm probably not going to get any better daylight today, but I figured, why not? Now, my internet service provider, they don't have their own dedicated modem. Instead, they have two types that you can go out and buy from them directly. They pre-configure it and then they ship it out. So I'm expecting inside this package to be an already opened box. I still expect everything to be in there, and what I should just be able to do is plug it in. As for the configuration and everything, I'm gonna do it myself. I just figured, well, $15 for shipping, and anyway, it's like 2 days. But unlike most of the internet service providers here, when you get a fixed line sort of connection, they give you their own special box, which is usually a complete piece of crap. So having something like this is going to be fun. Time for my opening tool. I want to be careful because I don't want to break the box. Since this is a retail thing, it's not a, yeah. The way I wanted to do it, but so Australia Post Shipping didn't seem to knock this around too much, which is good. Now, unlike what you mostly find, this is a German brand, so not American. I think it's FRITZ box. And as other people have described it to me, they basically just give you everything. There's no limit, which is what you find with a lot of modems that ISP will provide you, where they've just cut it down to whatever they feel that a customer should have and then hand it off. Alright. So there's actually no security on this to stop it from... Ooh, that's big. Alright, so you got the WAC key at the bottom of it. I'm not going to actually show this because it's got information I don't want to share. So that literally just pops out. As you can see, my internet service provider. Now, I am going for a cable connection, so I will be disabling... Wow. Wow. Alright, it's probably a good idea not to get rid of that. So these are multi-region connectors. And that is the Australian one. Now, I've seen Seagate use a similar connection, but definitely not this. I'm not familiar with this company. Or at least I haven't seen it before. Made in Cambodia. Okay. Alright, so that holds it in. And there's no power switch on the bottom of this, so it just basically fires up when you plug it in, but so a good way of showing the size. What would I have that I could use as a... Oh, here we go. Here's an iPhone 5. So it's pretty beefy. But, okay. Now, with my setup, I have the unfortunate fact that I've got NBN. Sorry, NBN. That means this port here should be the one utilized for the network. At which point it shows you on here. There, and I'll be connecting to this red line, so LAN 2, but I can connect to any. Alright, I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to set my camera up so I can record in another location, and I'm going to try plugging this thing in. Alright, so this massive weird cabling is my, well, setup. Probably not the best since the washing machine is below it. This is what I'm currently using for the NBN. So at the back here you'll see a UPS. That's the actual modem inside there, and it's a total mess of cables because I haven't bothered to do cable management properly. This is a backup access point that I can use if I need to, and I do occasionally fire it up, and well, it's always fired up, but I do occasionally connect to it. Technically I could use this for the NBN as well, but Apple stopped supporting it, so you can't actually connect to it with a, well, unless of course you have an old device, which I've got plenty, but you can't access it through a web interface, which is just insane. Now I've been switching between these two. This particular access point here is also doubling as a modem, so it does have the DSL, but this was listed as NBN compatible. A useful thing, but turns out there's a firmware update because it was slow. So when I picked this thing up brand new at an op shop for like 10 bucks, I'm thinking, huh? It's new. Why is it so cheap? My guess is people tried to use it and they couldn't figure it out, so they just tossed it. But hopefully I won't need to use that as a backup anymore. Stay. And I'm going to unplug this. I don't have anything connected to the internet that I'm too worried about, so all the activity is, it's stopping isn't going to bother me. Now unfortunately there is no power switch on this, so I can't just turn it off. And so to do this, I'm going to bring up the FRITZ box, sit this here. It's a real shame I can't put it on the side like that, but oh well. So just unplug the power from that because I want to use that for something else later. Now this thing, where's this cable go to? That cable, and that should be further down. So this would be to the NBN box, at which point port 1 and where's this blue cable go? Alright, so that goes into my access point. And then the third one is my home network. Yeah, having it installed here wasn't my choice and not the place I'd actually want to keep it, but I didn't have a choice, so here's where it's going to stay. There. Now I can plug this in, which I'll hold off because I'm going to plug in DC power, and then I'm going to plug it into the AC socket. And it comes alive. Now I'm going to have to power cycle this. So turn it off. Turn it back on again. So power is on. And is it going to be booting the rest of the way? Oh wow, you can barely see that. If I move back a little bit, yeah, have to come down. Nope. I do have another access point up the back there. I think I configured it for my network, but that's sort of like the in the event. And now I'm waiting for this LED to come on. As for the other sort of services with it, I'm not going to have it open to the internet, as I don't want someone deciding to take a poke around on the inside. But that configuration is going to have to happen later, and I won't be recording it. So it's still not connected to the internet. If I discover that it hasn't been pre-configured, I'm going to be a bit pissy, but it's not that difficult to fix, so. Okay. Now let's just double check that blue cable. Yep, that blue cable goes into this box. This blue cable goes into that box, and the grey one heads out. Alright, I am going to guess that I still have to get in there and pop in my account details. I'll post any information in the video about what I had to do. I didn't get to choose where that went. The people that I rent from said they wanted it in here. Initially they wanted it in the hallway, but they shoved it in the, well, where the washing machine is. Not the best place for it, but that's where it is, and it ticks me off to no end. Alright, well, I'm going to leave the video here, and yibbity yibbita.